be beaming, I be booming down that block. Everywhere you go, you know they know I'm hot. I be beaming.
What's up? What's going on, my good people? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you all are doing well. If this is your first time here, I want to welcome you. Pull up a seat. Hope you enjoyed the content. And before we get into this video, I want to ask that you like, comment, share, subscribe. Go ahead and tap that bell while you're at it so you're notified anytime I drop a brand new video, go live, or schedule a premiere. All right, y'all. So today we're eating pasta. Today we are eating pasta. And I'll get into the details of what's inside, how I made it, all that good stuff in just a minute. But it's time to eat because I'm hungry, y'all. I haven't eaten. The last time I ate was like 5 hours ago. So let me make sure I give y'all the first bite. Because in my mind, I hear my mama getting on me. Because y'all know she always get on me about the first bite. And I know I'll be slipping sometimes. I'll be slipping. So that's the first bite for y'all. Up close and personal. I knew I was going to drop something. I knew it. I knew it. One more bite, and I'll tell y'all what's in it. And it's not a huge portion. I think I told y'all, like, in my videos, when I do the mukbangs and stuff, I'm not gonna have a lot of food. And, you know, yeah, just not gonna have a lot of food. Because I think this is a good amount. Like, this is a good serving for me. Okay. All right, so it's like a creamy tomato based sauce. So the other day I was pan searing some tenders, like some chicken tenders, just to like do like some meal prep stuff for the week. You know, because when you have chicken, you can do anything with it. Put it in a salad, a wrap, anything. So when I was done pan searing it, I added in some butter, some heavy whipping cream, some tomato sauce, garlic, and then like herbs and seasoning, and just turned it into a sauce. Now, I didn't know what I was going to do with the sauce. I put the sauce to the side. And then when I was thinking about today's video, I was like, yo, I'm going to do a pasta dish today. So I got some bonza noodles, cooked the noodles, warmed the sauce up, added the noodles in, added in some sauteed bell peppers, onions, mushrooms, and cut up some of that chicken that I made. And just put it together. Quick and easy. So as y'all can see from the title, Storytime is back. I know y'all been asking. I know I said I was going to get back to it, but y'all, I literally had a creative block for 3 months. I am not kidding you. 3 months, okay? So being able to do a story time from beginning to end and actually enjoying it and feeling like it'll be entertaining. Oh my God, I'm so relieved. Like it feels like it feels like a part of me is back, you know? So I'm excited. And I hope you are too. If you are only here for story time, I will put chapters in this. So you can just go straight to story time. If that's what you're here for. I'm not even mad at you if that's the only thing you're here for is a story time. Tap in. Go to that part right now. So, for the month of November, I'm doing no fast food. So, cooking all my meals, which you already know is a lot of dishes. Man, when you cook at home, it is so many dishes. You just constantly running water. Or, you know, if you have a dishwasher, you constantly running your dishwasher. But anyways, I'm not going to complain because I feel like it's been beneficial. I feel really good. I feel just like, I can't really describe it, but I definitely feel like I have more energy because I'm controlling everything in terms of what I'm eating, how much salt, how much this, how much that. I know I'm recording this December 7th. We only a weekend, but I feel a huge difference. I do. Like in my body, I feel a big difference. And that's the thing too. I'm not on like a particular like diet or meal plan. I'm eating whatever I want. It's just I need to make sure that I'm like, you know what I'm saying, preparing it at home. And somebody asked me, I think it was Sonia, was like, Rhonda, you gonna share some of the dishes that you're making, you know, during December while you're eating at home? Yes. I'm gonna do like a wellness vlog and share a couple things with y'all, like a couple things that I do just like throughout my day or throughout the month. I want to share that with y'all for sure. I'm looking at my hair, y'all. Who knew the big hair was gonna be my thing? I cannot believe how much I love my hair just being big and wild. And I cannot wait for it to just keep on growing so we can get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. I can't wait. I'm excited. I've never been the kind of person to wear my hair like this, but you know, when you go back and look at like old pictures of yourself, it's so interesting how much we all just change over the course of our life. You know what I'm saying? So the way that you dress, the way you wear your hair, whatever, the length of your hair, all of that. So yeah, I think this is my thing for right now. Who knows what it'll be in a year? It could be something totally different. But for now, this is for sure my thing. Like this is my preference. Just wear my hair just big. So let me ask y'all this. Before I get into story time, I promise you we're about to get to it in just a minute. Before I get to story time, my question is, what are some things that you're doing to prepare for the new year? Do you find yourself focusing on certain things now that we're down to the last month of the year? I think this month has really been about reflection and acceptance. I have found that, like probably in the last week and a half, maybe the last 2 weeks, that I have been reflecting a lot and also just accepting certain things, you know, and accepting things for what they are. Like, this happened, this is how it went down, and I cannot change it. Like, really telling myself that, processing that, and just being okay with that has allowed me to release and let go of a lot of things. And maybe that's why I feel like I'm so light. I feel light on my feet. I feel just good because I've just let certain things go. You know what I'm saying? Because like when you have, I mean, of course, like I've allowed myself to feel the different emotions around situations, like to be angry, to be disappointed, to feel betrayed, whatever the case may be, whatever, you know, and then sometimes maybe I'm wrong. I don't even know. I could be wrong, but I have allowed myself to feel how I feel about situations. I've gone through the storm of the different emotions, and I'm just finally at a point where a lot of things I've just accepted it for what it was, you know, accepted what I did, accepted what other people have done, and let it go. And I just feel so light, y'all. So I still got some baggage, but it's just not as heavy. So I'm really grateful for that. And I don't feel like it's because it's the last month. It's just a timing thing, you know? So yeah. Tell me, what are you doing to prepare for the new year? Some people eat different. Some people purge, clean out your space, journal more, change your workout routine to prepare for the new year as it comes in. You know, people do different things. So what are you doing to prepare for the new year? And I don't even know if this was intentional. It just kind of happened, and I'm fine with that. You know, I'm fine with that. It's just a flow. Like, I've been trying to make sure I'm in the flow of just life and what comes my way. And the flow brought me to a place of just acceptance, like really focusing on accepting different situations and things that have happened. And not just this year. It's some things that's kind of like been around for a couple of years, you know, kind of like marinating and chilling in the background. And I finally accepted, you know, what it was to be able to release that shit. And all I can hope is that in me releasing and accepting things is that I'm making space for, you know, new things, whatever that is. New friends, new places, new opportunities, new projects, new ideas, whatever. I hope that I'm making space for things that are going to be very, prosperous and positive in my life. That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping for. So yeah, y'all let me know. Meet me in the comments and please let me know. All right, y'all, I'm gonna take these last 2 bites and then I'll be right back and we'll get into story time. All right, so this story time is about Tia Chamberlain. She's in her mid-30s, single, and she's going through a huge transition in her life. So she left the corporate world and she's focusing on being a content creator. She decided to, start a channel a couple months ago, a YouTube channel a couple months ago, just as an outlet to be creative. She was bored at work, feeling like she wasn't being challenged. She got turned down for a promotion. So she just kind of hasn't been in the best place, when she was at her corporate job. So she started a YouTube channel just for like shits and giggles, and the channel started taking off. Bunch of subscribers, videos going viral. So she quit her day job to focus on creating content full time. Cause she like, okay, I'm not even really doing this thing like that. I'm not giving my all to it, but what would happen if I did? So she just betting on herself, right? So she's really just figuring things out and trying to make good use of her time. So she's going through that transition. She's trying to do better with her health, trying to work out more, trying to eat at home. Her parents had some health issues and she's like, I don't want that to be me. I don't want it to be me. I'm young enough. I have a clean bill of health. I just went to the doctor and I want to live a long, happy and healthy life. So she knows that she has to work out more. She needs to cook more. Like she needs more sleep. She needs more water. So just all the way around. She got to revamp everything in terms of like her health and her wellness, right? So she's trying to focus on that. And she feels like, not being in a work environment helps because her old job in tech was so demanding that, she wouldn't eat, she would overeat, like all these different things affected the way she was taking care of herself. So now that she has more time and can kind of set up her own schedule, she's like, yeah, I have to prioritize my health and my wellness. And then the third thing is that she's figuring herself out in terms of, spiritually, her relationship with God. It's like, she was raised in the church, but she's trying to establish her own relationship and, just figure out, does she want to identify with the religion or is she the spiritual? So she's just going through a lot and allowing herself to have that space to be able to focus, right? So that's a little bit about Tia. Oh, and a little bit more about her. These final things. I'm only going to say these things. I don't think I usually say this. I don't think I usually describe people like this, but I feel like it's just relative to the story. So she is masculine presenting. She's a lesbian woman and she has locks. All right. So that is Tia Chamberlain, our main character. So it's like a Tuesday and, she's at home chilling, watching basketball on TV and, just thinking about like what she's going to have for dinner. Is she going to order out or should she just, she has food in the refrigerator, so she should probably cook something, but she's not that good in the kitchen. So she creates content on YouTube, but she also spends a lot of time on YouTube looking at cooking videos because she's trying to figure it out, how to do certain things. Even simple stuff can feel complicated because she just doesn't know her way around the kitchen like that. And, she wants to be better because that'll just make it easier in terms of like, eating healthier and stuff, right? Because when she gets frustrated, she wants to order out, or, whatever. So she's at home chilling, her phone rings and it's her best friend, Serenity. And so she's like, what's up? She's like, what's going on? Like, I thought you was ain't you getting ready to go to a party? I'm surprised to hear from you. She was like, about that. Like, I need you to come to the party with me. She was like, what? Like, why? Why would I be coming? Where Ben at? And Ben is Serenity's boyfriend. She's like, Ben got caught up at work. He can't make it. And I don't want to go alone. Can you please go with me? And she's like, ugh. Like, I was in for the night. I got some editing to do. She was like, please, can you please just come with me? Like, I don't want to go by myself and I don't want to flake. Like, I RSVP'd and I have to go. I have to show my face for at least an hour. And so she's like, all right, look, if I go, you got to promise me you're going to do something for me. She's like, what? I need you to help me meal prep. She's like, ugh. All right, fine. I'll help you meal prep, make things easier for you. I'll even show you, maybe one of my dishes, show you how to make it. Fine. Okay. You do this for me. I'll do that for you. All right, bet. I'm gonna get dressed. So fast forward, we're now at like this lounge and they're in a section. It's one of Serenity's like old friends who she hasn't seen in a while. And, you know, her friend is in town celebrating her birthday. So she really wanted to make sure that she went. So they're in the section having a good time. You know, they don't plan on being there for a long time, but they're there, you know, just, you know, having drinks or whatever. And Tia goes to the restroom. So she's walking to the bathroom and something spilled on her shirt. So she's like kind of looking down, not paying attention. And she bumps into a woman who also isn't paying attention. The woman is on her phone. So they bump into each other and it's like, oh shit, like, I'm sorry. I wasn't looking, my bad. I'm really sorry. Are you okay? She's like, no, I'm good. I'm good. And so the woman is just kind of looking at her, kind of like, she looks like stunned. And she was like, damn, you look really familiar. And she's like, do I? Like, I don't know. Maybe we met before or something. Maybe we have mutual friends. She's like, nah, like, so she's like thinking, racking her mind. And she's like, I know this is going to sound wild, but do you create, like, do you have a YouTube channel? And she's like, yeah, I do. I actually, I do create content on YouTube. And she was like, that's where I see you. You look familiar. I've seen your channel before. She's like, I'm not subscribed, but it pops up in my feed a lot. And so she was like, you know, the algorithm is telling you to subscribe. So subscribe. And so they laugh or whatever. And, you know, the woman is walking out of the bathroom and T is walking into the bathroom. So they have a laugh, whatever. And the woman's name, she introduced herself as Brooke. And she's like, hey, I'm Tia. So they have that quick exchange and then they go their separate ways. So Tia goes to the bathroom and then she goes back to the section when she's done. And then, you know, she's telling Serenity like, hey, somebody recognized me. And Serenity is like, for real? She's like, yes. Like this girl I saw in the bathroom. She's like, she bad too. But yeah, she saw me and she said that she know me from YouTube. And so, you know, she kind of like feeling herself a little bit or whatever. And so, you know, they just, again, chilling, just like checking out, people watching, listening to the music, vibing, whatever. And they probably gonna be there for another 30 minutes or so. Like their night is kind of coming to an end, right? So the waitress walks up and has a drink for Tia. And Tia was like, I didn't order that. Like, I didn't want another drink. You know, I told you I was good the last drink. And she was like, nah, the woman over there ordered it. So she looks up and she makes eye contact with Brooke, which is the woman she just saw in the bathroom, right? So she starts laughing. She takes the drink and she laughs or whatever, right? And she's like, okay, like she sent me a drink. Okay, I like that. And so Serenity is like, a drink? Okay, she must be feeling you. And so Tia was like, you think so? She was like, of course. Like, who sends people drinks? Like, come on. Like, and she sent you the right drink, which leads me to believe that she may have seen you, been checking you out earlier. You know what I'm saying? Like, she sent you what you've been drinking on all night. So she was like, yeah, that's true. She did. She did. Okay, yeah. So she was like, should I get her number? And so Serenity is like, what about the whole celibate thing? She was like, I didn't say I was going to take her down. I just said her number. It's okay for me to have friends, right? So when I am ready or trying to put myself out there, you know, she was like, yeah, you should go get her number because she is definitely interested, right? So Tia walks over to her and Tia was like, what's up, Brooke? Like, you know, thank you for the drink. I appreciate that. Like, thank you. It's a really nice gesture. She was like, yeah, of course. That's the least I could do. You know, I've never really met anybody famous before. And so they kind of have this laugh and she's like, I'm not famous or whatever. And they just, you know, kind of have this little small exchange. And, you know, Tia looks down at her watch and she knows it's about that time for them to get ready to go, right? So she was like, you know, I'm about to get ready to leave. Can I get your number? And surprisingly, Brooke is like, nah, like, I don't think that's a good idea. And so, you know, her face kind of falls to the floor because it's like, look, you sent me a drink. Like, I mean, am I making this more than what it is? Like, is this not flirting? Do people just do that just because? Like, so she was like, it's awkward now. You know what I'm saying? So she picks her face up off the ground and she goes back to the section and she's just like, yeah, like Serenity, I'm ready to go. So they leave, right? So now fast forward a couple of days, you know, it's later on in the week and Tia is at this coffee shop that she always goes to. Like, you know, she goes to this coffee shop. It's not in her neighborhood. She usually drives there and she goes there, she goes there to either like brainstorm content ideas or she edits or something. And she always catches the vibe when she's there. So she tries to make it a point to go there like once or twice a week. So she's in there doing her thing. She has her laptop open and she's just working, you know, getting a lot of stuff done, knocking it out. You know, it's a very busy place, but like, you know, just like the sound and other people being around, like it, I don't know, like it energizes her. It's not a distraction, you know? And so she's in the zone and she has headphones on and she's listening to music. And then she, you know, looks up for a second and who does she see at the counter? She sees Brooke and she's like, is that Brooke? And so, you know, she takes her headphones off and she's really taking a look and she was like, I'll be damned, that really is her. Like, she'd never seen her in there before. So she debates, you know, should she go say anything? Because she's thinking about how she got rejected with the phone number. And she like, all right. So she goes over, you know, she waits for Brooke to like place her order. Now she's waiting, right? So she walks up to her, taps her on the shoulder, and is like, hey, what's up? And she's like, Tia? And she's like, what's up? You know? And she's like, what are you doing here? She was just like, you know, I live in this neighborhood. She was like, you do? She was like, you know, I come here pretty often. I've never seen you here before. And so she's like, yeah, like this is, I guess the universe just, I don't know, but it's good to see you. She was like, it's good to see you too. And so like they're, you know, talking a little bit, but not a lot. Like, you know, T is trying to think what to ask her, what to say or whatever. And out of nowhere, Brooke says, do you want to come to my apartment? And she's like, wait. Okay, hold up. Like, so you wouldn't give me your number, but you're going to invite me to your apartment where you live? And so she was like, you know, maybe I'm trying to play hard to get or whatever. So they kind of like chuckle about it. And she's like, yeah, I'll come to your place. She was like, I promise. She was right around the corner. I'm not going to try nothing. She was like, I don't think that. I don't think that at all. It's okay. And so they go back to her apartment and she walks in and she's just taking in the space. You know, it's decorated well. There's art and, you know, magazines all over the place. And it's just a really nice place. There's flowers and like the blinds are open and, you know, it's colorful, it's vibrant. She sees this huge, like massive bookshelf. And what jumps out to her is a bunch of cookbooks on the bookshelf. So after Tia sees all these cookbooks, she's like, are you a chef? Like, you got to be a chef. And she was like, nah, I'm not. She was like, you know, I'm just really into cooking and culinary. And I hope that I'm in the culinary space maybe at some point, maybe later in life. But like, nah, I'm not a chef. But I am nice in the kitchen. Don't get me wrong, but not quite professional. And so she was like, what do you do for a living? And she was like, I'm a forensic analyst. You know, that's what I do. And she was like, oh shit, okay, I'll be that's dope. She was like, yeah, you know, it's fulfilling. I've been doing it for a while. It's always what I wanted to do. And you know, like it's good work. Like I feel like I am being a good citizen. You know what I'm saying? And when I sleep at night, like my conscience is clear or whatever. So she was like, yeah, you know, I really love what I do. And so she was like, that's dope. I like that. That's dope. I wasn't expecting you to say that, but that's amazing. And so they still, you know, just kind of talking casually. She's still checking out her place, looking around and stuff, and just kind of looking at the art up close. And so, you know, Brooke calls out from the kitchen. She's like, do you want a drink? And she's like a drink? She's like, yeah. You know, do you drink tequila? And so, you know, Tia looks down at her watch and it's like, it's barely 12 o'clock. She was like, don't worry about the time. Just have a drink with me. And so she's like, all right, yeah, make me a drink. So she makes these margaritas, whips them up all nice, got these nice glasses. And one of the main ingredients that she puts in is Saint Germain. And so, you know, when Tia sees her pull the Saint Germain out the cabinet, she's like, Saint Germain? She was like, look, I rarely see that. Like, Saint Germain is my shit. Like, I rarely see people like making drinks with it though. And she was like, and I've never had it in a margarita. So she was like, I got you or whatever. So she's impressed. She's very impressed that she has Saint Germain. And if you don't know what Saint Germain is, it's like a French liqueur. So, you know, they have these margaritas and, you know, they cheers and tap glasses and they go over to the couch and sit down and, you know, just kind of like chit chatting again, just talking. And so, you know, Brooke stands up at some point and she comes behind Tia and she's like rubbing her shoulders, you know, just rubbing her shoulders. And she eventually works her, you know, way into her head. Like her locks are kind of wild. Like she's due for a retwist, but it doesn't look bad. You know what I'm saying? But she like starts running her fingers through her hair, whatever. And she kind of starts retwisting her locks a little bit, you know, like not with product or anything, but just, you know, like kind of twisting, like in a twisting motion. And, you know, Tia doesn't question anything. She doesn't feel awkward. She just surrenders to the moment, you know, of this exchange that they're having, right? And then fast forward, it's, you know, there's this loud ringing phone and it wakes Tia up and she's on the couch at Brooke's house and it's like 2 o'clock in the morning and she's trying to figure out what the fuck, like, did we sleep together? Like, I just don't remember going to sleep. I don't remember dozing off. Like, she's looking around, the TV is on in the background, but the volume is low. She sees that, you know, the Saint Germain bottle is empty, the tequila bottle, half of it is gone. And she looks around and she sees a blunt on the table and she was like, oh shit, like, yeah, we did start smoking. And eventually, you know, Brooke wakes up and she's like, yo, like, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't remember going to sleep. The last thing I remember was you rubbing my hair and I went into a zone and damn, like, oh, I gotta go. I have to go. I have somewhere to be at 7 o'clock in the morning. And she's like, no, like, I don't want you to go. I don't want you to leave. Stay here. You know, we've been drinking, smoking. We cross-faded. Like, you know, no, stay here. I promise I will wake you up at 6 a.m. And she was like, and I promise that I won't try nothing. You know, like, I'm going to respect the fact that you celibate. And like, yeah, like, I promise. Okay. And she was like, you promise? She was like, no, for real. I'm going to get you up. I swear. So they go make their way to the bed. And, you know, Brooke is, you know, she reaches out for Tia's hand and leads her into the bedroom, and they're cuddled up in bed, and that's just it. Nothing happens between them, right? So 6 o'clock rolls around and Brooke, you know, wakes her up like she said she would, right? So wakes her up. So Tia, you know, is trying to wake up, and she's stretching and getting herself together. She goes to the bathroom to wash her face and, you know, use the restroom or whatever. So while she's doing that, Brooke is in the living room. She's in the kitchen, and, you know, she's opening up the blinds and stuff and, you know, letting the sun come in. And, you know, she starts to make coffee. And by the time Brooke is done, when she's, you know, done doing what she's doing in the bathroom, you know, she comes into the living room area, and, you know, Brooke is standing there with a to-go cup with coffee, and she also has a piece of paper, and it's folded in half. And so she hands the paper over to Tia, and Tia was like, "What's this?" And she looks, and it's Brooke's phone number, and they just start cracking up like, "Oh, okay, so now you're gonna give me your phone number. All right, okay, we went through all of this, and I'm finally worthy of getting your number. Thank you, like, I appreciate it." So, you know, they hug each other, they hold each other. It's not like a quick hug. It's a very intimate, close, tight hug. And, you know, Tia is taller than Brooke, and so, like, her head, you know, she's like hovering over her a little bit, and she gives her a forehead kiss, and they part ways. So now that she has her number, they kind of just fall into this automatic rhythm of just talking for hours every single day. So, you know, it's very mutual. You know, Brooke calls Tia as much as Tia calls Brooke. They're FaceTiming regularly, cooking on the phone together. You know, Brooke is walking Tia through the steps on how to do her meal prep, how to season it, what to do, how to try this and that, and different veggies and combinations, all kind of stuff. So they laugh together, watch TV shows together. They have movie nights at each other's places, you know. So Brooke has been to Tia's place, and, you know, Tia, you know, goes to Brooke's place, and they have these movie nights. They're cuddled up on the couch. Like, they haven't had sex. It hasn't gone too far, but it's very intimate, very close. Like, they share their dreams and ideas, you know what I mean? And, like, Brooke is a big time shopper. Like, she shops all the time. That is her thing. She gonna throw it in the bag. And when she does, and wants ideas and wants opinions, and when she's trying these different outfits and stuff on, and these skirts and dresses and boots, you know, who does she call? She calls Tia. And she calls Tia, puts her on FaceTime, props the phone up, has her in the dressing room with her. You know, she's getting down to her bra and panties and switching outfits and asking her opinion. You know, do you like this? Is this cute on me, or whatever? Like, really valuing her opinion. You know what I'm saying? So they're just really close. And it even got to a point too where, you know, Tia isn't a person. She's the kind of person that really doesn't speak up on her ideas to anybody. Like, she's the kind of person that talks about it once her shit is in motion, once it's live and it's active. You know, like, even when she started her YouTube channel, nobody knew she had a YouTube channel until she had a YouTube channel. Like, she didn't tell her best friend. She didn't tell anybody, none of her other friends, her siblings, nothing. Nobody knew she had a channel until it was out. That's the kind of person. That's how she moves. And she's been sitting on this idea. She wants to get into, like, podcasting. And she really, really loves, like, crime. And she was like, you know, I have this crime idea for this podcast, and I want to get into the space, and I want to dominate, and I have all this research to do. And, you know, Brooke responds and is like, really, like, that's amazing. You know, crime is huge in podcasting, and any way that I can help you, I will. You know, I've worked on a ton of cases, hundreds and hundreds of cases, and I can give you so much information and terminology and ideas or whatever. I'm here for you. Like, whenever you're ready to do it, please use me. I'm here for you. And so, you know, that means a lot. That means a lot to Tia for her to respond like that. You know what I'm saying? So they're very close. They are getting to know a lot about each other in such a short period of time, and spending more than anything, spending the time with each other. You know what I'm saying? And so one night, Tia is filming content. She's getting everything prepped and set up, setting up this microphone, setting up her lights or whatever. And her text alert goes off. So she checks the message, and it is from Brooke. And Brooke sends her a message and says, meet me here tomorrow at 7 p.m. Dress nice. And so, you know, Tia's like, what? Meet you where? Like, we haven't talked about going out or anything. Like, what do you mean? Like, she has questions, but she's just like, forget it. Again, surrendering to the moment. Okay, all right, I'll be there. So she calls Serenity and is like, yo, like, you know, I've been spending time and just kind of hanging out, you know, with Brooke. Like, I'm just going with the flow. I don't even know if the woman is even into women, to be honest with you, but it feels like she's into me, and I'm just going with the flow. So anyway, she just texted me and told me to meet her somewhere. I tried to check the address, and nothing is coming up. She's like, what do you mean nothing is coming up? Like, when I tried to Google the address, nothing came up. She was like, girl, send me the address. So she sends the address to Serenity. Serenity tries to check it, nothing. Like, nothing returns, nothing at all. And she was like, yo, like, do you think I should go? She was like, I mean, you've been spending all this other time with her. Why would you not go now? She was like, you know, this woman could kill my ass and like kill me, chop me up, and there'd be no evidence. This is what she does for a living. And so she was like, girl, you said you wanted spontaneity and adventure, and here you have it, okay? It sounds like that, I don't know, maybe she planned a date night for y'all. You know, just let it be what it is. Like, you doing too much. And so she's like, all right, like, I'm kind of joking, but I'm kind of serious. But like, it is weird that the address didn't show up. You know what I'm saying? So she was like, look. So, you know, Serenity's like, look, if it makes you feel any better, make sure, keep your location on. And when I text you, you need to respond back in 3 to 5 minutes. If you don't, I'm on the way. All right. Does that make you feel a little better? She was like, yeah, nah, actually that does. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to go. She said, just wear something nice. I'm going to do that. I'm going to be on time and just be open to whatever it is. Because again, we haven't talked about anything. So the next day rolls around, and you know, Tia's really big about being on time. So like around 5 o'clock, she's starting to get herself together. She's like, you know, retwisting her hair and taking a shower. She's wearing all black. She got like this turtleneck on, these black pants, puts a black jacket on, pulls a new pair of black shoes out of the box, you know, puts on a watch, her best cologne, like everything. Like, she looks good from head to toe. Looks good, feeling good, all of that, right? So she hops in the car and she goes to the address, you know, puts it in her GPS, and she's going. And this is a part of town that she's never been in before, you know? And so she's like, okay, like, I mean, she is kind of in the back of her mind feeling some kind of way. Like, this is a part of town. She pulls up, a part of town she's never been in. So nothing feels familiar about it. And the drive is about 25, 30 minutes, something like that. And so she pulls up and she starts to continue to feel sketchy. You know, the area is dark, it's secluded. There's just like a bunch of like industrial looking buildings. There's not a whole lot of cars, just not a whole lot of light. And she's like, yo, like, I don't know. Like, I'm not feeling good about this. Like, why couldn't she tell me where we were going? You know, like, I'm starting to feel some kind of way. So just as she's about to pull her phone out to call Serenity to be like, yo, I don't know. I think this is a bad idea. She reaches for her phone. And just as she does, she sees Brooke, you know, leaned up against her car. And so she's like, okay, like, and she looks good too. She looking damn good. So she puts her phone down and she gets out the car and she's just checking out Brooke from head to toe. She got on this little tight little black dress. You know what I'm saying? Her legs are shining. She got these heels on and it's just like, damn, like, she look good. She got a new hairstyle. Like, she's looking good. She got this red lipstick on, just everything about her. And so they embrace, they hug, and she was like, hey. And she's like, you know, I'm glad that you came. And she was like, yeah, I mean, I'm glad you invited me. Like, what are we doing? Like, what's going on? Like, you got me dressed up all nice. Where are we about to go? Like, there's nothing even over here. She was like, girl, stop asking all these questions and just follow my lead. So she grabs her hand and they walk up to like this brick looking building. And once the door swings open, there's like 2 chairs in the middle of like this warehouse, but it's like an empty warehouse. And it has candles, it's flowers, and there's like this box in the middle with a table with a ribbon on it. And she's like, what's going on? There's like these lights and stuff, candles and stuff. And so she's like, I mean, what's going on? Like, you brought me here, like, you set this up, like, what is happening right now? You know, because nobody's ever done anything like this for her before. You know what I'm saying? Like, went to this extent to surprise her. She was like, what is this, just like date night? She was like, no. She was like, I mean, well, kind of, but like, happy birthday. She was like, you know, your birthday is next week and I'm not going to be here. And, you know, we've known each other for a couple of weeks, but we spend so much time together and you're special. And I want you to feel special, you know, and I don't know what you have planned. You know, you still haven't really figured out if you're going to celebrate your birthday or not. But I know that I wanted to celebrate you before I left, you know, and just happy birthday, you know. And she's just so like sweet and genuine about it, you know, making eye contact with her. And, you know, Tia feels incredibly special. Like, nobody has ever done this before, you know, done something like this for her before. And so they finally take a seat and, you know, Brooke tells her, like, open the gift. Like, I want you to open it. I want to see your face when you open it. And she's just like, what's in here? So she grabs this, kind of shakes. She was like, stop shaking it, open it. Like, just open the gift. And so she was like, you didn't have to do this. I know I didn't, but it's what I wanted to do. You deserve it. Open it. Open it. I want to see your reaction. Please do it. So she, you know, is opening her gift, but she's like slow with it. She's like, girl, hurry up. Like, open it. And so she kind of speeds up a little bit and she's, you know, unwrapping everything, taking the bow off. And she finally opens it up. And it's this box. And there's this big, beautiful, blinging ass watch. And she was just like, wait, this is too much. Like, you didn't have to do this. Like, I mean, you know how expensive, you know how much this watch, yes, I know how much the watch costs. Don't worry about it. I will be fine. Again, you deserve it. And, you know, I heard you talk about you wanting this on your channel, and I want you to have it. I want you to have it. Like, you're a great person. You're so sweet. And, you know, you've just been there for me, been such a listening ear, and just, I don't know, you've just been this breath of fresh air that I didn't even know that I needed. And happy birthday. Happy birthday. So just as she's like wrapping her mind around this watch and it being like this dream gift that she wanted, the doors swing open to like this back area of the warehouse, and out comes the chef. He's a French chef, and, you know, Tia's like, basically her face just falls, like her mouth is wide open. She's like, wait, what the fuck is he like? How? Like, what are you doing here? He comes out and he's carrying these plates. You know, he's starting everything off with, you know, their first part of their meal, and she's just like what is going on, right? So this chef is somebody that Tia has been following for years. He specializes in French cuisine, and for her, on her bucket list, she wanted to go to Canada to try out some of his restaurants. So she's always watching his videos. She's always on his Instagram account. Like, this man, she is obsessed with him, and she's always wanted to try his food. And so she's just like, how did you get, like, what are you doing here? She's like, look, Brooke is like, I know people, and, you know, I asked for a favor. He was in town. It just worked out. All right. This is the universe saying that you deserve this. So we're going to have, you know, a 4-course meal, and let's just enjoy ourselves. You know, you don't have to go to Canada. I know that that's something that you want to do, but you can't really do it right now. And I wanted to bring it to you. And she's just like, I can't believe it. And so her text alert goes off. She looks at her messages, because, you know, Serenity is serious about responding in 3 to 5 minutes. And so she asks her, is everything okay? She was like, oh, it's more than okay. And she sends a picture back of her and the chef. You know, Serenity's going wild when she gets the message. She can't believe it because she knows how big of a deal this man is. And they sit and enjoy this 4-course meal, and they're talking and, like, you know, holding one another's hand, and they're enjoying French wine, and like the ambiance, like the vibe of it all, the flowers, the candles, everything is just so intimate. It's just perfect. It is. And it's more than she could have even asked for. Like, nobody, again, has ever decided to plan something like this for her. You know, spend this kind of money, use their resources, call in favors, like really put something like this together. And she's like, damn, like, I don't know, I just feel so loved and appreciated. And she was like, because you are, you know, like, you are, like, you really, really are. And so they wrap everything up for the night, and, you know, it's just this energy and closeness between them right now. You know, they're holding hands as they walk out, and they're standing in between, you know, they're standing right next to Brooke's car. And just naturally, you know, Tia leans in for a kiss, and Brooke is like, hey, you know, like, she leans back like, hey, you know, like she was like, what, like, what's the problem? She was like, you know, this ain't really that, you know. And she was like, what you mean this ain't that? She was like, I'm telling you, like, you know, this really ain't that. Like, I'm good. Like, I don't, like, please don't do that again. Don't do what? She was like, I mean, do you see where we are? Do you see the time we've spent? Like, when you go and you're in your bra and panties, you're talking to me on the phone. Okay. You got your body all in the phone, showing everything off to me. And we going to sleep on the phone at night. We cuddling up and all this kind of shit. And you telling me this ain't that? Are you serious? And so, you know, Tia just in complete disbelief. She jumps in her car. She goes home. And she's just thinking the entire way, like, hey, she got me fucked up. Like what kind of game are you playing? Like, what is it that you're trying to accomplish here? You know, you gonna dip on me? You gonna ghost me? Like, what was the point of doing all of this? You go all out for my birthday. So she's just rethinking everything in her mind, and the time they've spent, the things that they've done, and just how stupid she's been. You know, and for her, she's like, she feels like she's somebody that makes bad decisions when it comes to women. And it's like, you know, for her, she's in a whole different space, like understanding and exploring her spirituality and creativity, and hoping that she was going to attract different type of women. And it's like the same shit still happening. You know, people always trying to play with her and play in her face. And she like, yo, like, man. So she calls Serenity, and Serenity's listening, being a listening ear. And she's just like, yo, like, she tried to play me. Like, I mean, all I was doing was going in for a kiss. Like, I wasn't trying to take her down, but damn, you know, this ain't that. Like, what does that even mean? Serenity, what the fuck does that even mean? This ain't that. And so Serenity's trying to, you know, find the words to comfort her best friend and, you know, calm her down or whatever. And so, you know, things just go radio silent for like 5 or 6 days. They don't talk. So they go from talking all the time, FaceTiming, sleep on the phone, all of that, to nothing. They don't talk, no texting, nothing, no social media, nothing, no voice notes. Everything is just done. No contact at all, right? And so like maybe 5 or 6 days go by, and Tia's text alert, her alert goes off, and it's Brooke, saying, hey, I'm going to DC today. This is the reason why, she had to celebrate her birthday early. So she was like, hey, I'm going to DC. And, Tia acknowledges the message and it's like, well, let me know when you make it, because she really doesn't want to say anything because of just how she made her feel last time she saw her. But she's like, no, like, I still care about you and your well-being. Let me know when you make it. And so, Brooke get thumbs up the message, whatever. But then like an hour later, excuse me, and that, mind you, I don't know if I said this, they live in LA. So like an hour later, her phone rings and it's Brooke. So she know damn well she ain't in DC yet. So she was like, hey, what's up? Are you okay? She was like, I'm sure that, you're not in DC yet. Is everything okay? I thought I wouldn't hear from you until you landed. And she's like, yeah, everything's good. Like, I'm on the plane, I'm seated, and we haven't talked, and that's been weird, and I don't like the space that we're in. I missed you, and I'm really sorry about the way that I made you feel. And yeah. And so like Tia doesn't really know what to say. She's kind of just silent on the phone. And so she's like, just let me know when you make it. Let me know when you get to DC, please. And she's like, yeah, I will. So, Brooke makes it to DC. She sends a text message that says, I made it safely. I'm at my hotel. And, Tia hearts the message, and that's it, but she doesn't really know what else to say, what questions to ask. Like, she feels like I should just move on with my life, or I don't know what the fuck I should be doing. She's still confused and still kind of worked up and emotional about what took place, at the last time they saw each other. So things go radio silent again for 3 weeks. They don't say anything to each other. So, it could be, I'm not giving in, I'm being stubborn, she needs to make the first move. No, she needs to make the first move or say something or whatever, or feeling like, maybe Brooke is feeling like if I say something, she ain't gonna say nothing back, whatever. So they both are just probably thinking their own things, right? So 3 weeks goes by, and Tia gets a text message. She gets a text message that says, meet me here tomorrow at 1:45. Don't be late, wear something nice. And part of her kind of lights up on the inside, like, okay, so now she's trying to win me over. She's trying to win me back. Maybe it was some shit that she was going through at the time that I didn't know about. I hadn't known her for a long time. I don't know. Maybe I overreacted. When I tried to give her a kiss, I don't know. I don't even know, again, if she's dealt with women before or not. Is this a lot? Was I moving too fast? And, and maybe she's just a person that does grand gestures. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe that's who she is, and I made it more than it was, whatever. But either way, she's happy that she got a message from her. She can't wait to see her tomorrow. Like, she cancels her plans that she had. So this is on a Friday night that she got the text. And so she's going to be seeing her on a Saturday. She's like, cool, we can hang out during the day. We can talk face to face. We can reconcile. We can forgive each other, apologize, whatever. Move past this shit and just figure out what's next. Like, that's what is on her heart and her mind, right? So, she tells Serenity what's going on. And like, Serenity is like, are you sure you really want to go? Like, because to me, she played you. I feel like she played you, to be honest. You're going to do all that shit and say this ain't that. I feel like, I don't know. So she's like, are you telling me not to go? I'm not saying don't go. I'm just saying be careful. Like, because, who says that? Like, And so she's like, well, I'm going. I'm just letting I'm definitely going. And, like, I'll hit you afterwards. She's like, all right, yeah, hit me afterwards. And give me everything. Let me know what y'all up to, whatever. So next day rolls around, and Tia's getting herself together. So, she's dressing nice, getting herself together, making sure her locks look good, putting on one of her best outfits, all that stuff, right? Gets herself together, and she pulls up to the building, and it's a church. And so she's like, we going to church? Like, it's Saturday. Like, we going to church? Like, okay. Like, there's people outside, but then it's like, okay, whatever. So she is like, I don't know. So she parks the car, and she texts Brooke and is like, hey, I'm here. Doesn't get a response back, sits in the car for a couple of minutes. And so it's a lot of people outside, a lot of people walking inside of the church, and she's just like, okay, is this a regular service? Like, what's going on? So she goes inside, and she realizes immediately it is a wedding, right? So she was like, okay, so there's like a name of the bride and the groom. It's Donovan and Alana. And she's like, okay, well, shit. This is a hell of a way to reconcile and to meet up again. But okay, cool. She want me to be her +1 at a wedding for a friend. Awesome. We can have a good time. We can hit the open bar. We can dance. And, you know, this is a good way. Have some fun before we work out, you know, the shit we got to work out and talk through. And then, you know, we can, like I said, just move on to whatever is next for her and I. So, you know, she's looking at the watch and she's like, damn, I wonder where she is. Still no response to the text message. And she texts her like, hey, where are you? You know, are you almost here? Whatever. And so she's just looking around. None of these people look familiar, nothing, right? So she's just standing around. She's in front of the church still. And so somebody posts their head out and is like, hey, the wedding is about to start. So everybody should get seated. Like, if you're coming in, come get seated. So, you know, she sends a text message. She goes inside. She goes inside and she decides to sit, you know, in the back of the church, like the last pew in the back. She has no idea if she's on the bride or the groom side because she don't know these people. And, you know, she sits on the left-hand side of the church and she sends Brooke a text message and she's like, hey, when you come in, I'm on the left-hand side, the last pew in the back, right? So I'll see you when you get here. So she's sitting there, you know, situated and, you know, sees the groom, you know, sees the pastor, all that stuff, right? So then, you know, the bridesmaids and stuff start to walk in and then it's dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. So, you know, now it's time to just rise for the bride, right? So she's like, damn, like she ain't even here. She gonna miss her friend coming down the aisle. Like, she like, I mean, well, maybe the groom is her friend. But either way, she's late. Like, she's just thinking all this shit, right? Because she's like, I ain't never been to somebody's wedding that I just don't know at all, right? So she stands and the door, you know, comes open and she can see the dress, like, you know, but she can't see the bride just yet. And so, you know, the bride walks in and because she's in the back pew, like she's probably one of the first people that the bride would see, you know, if she's looking around. And who is the bride? The bride is Brooke. And she's just like, I'll be fucking damn. Like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, what the, like, hold up. Wait, what? What's going on? You know? And honestly, when Brooke sees her, Brooke is looking like, what the fuck are you doing here? She looked like she's seen a ghost. And you can see it in her face. She's flushed. Her face is red. She even, like, she starts sweating a little bit. And she probably was already sweating because she's nervous on her big day. But, like, she looks flushed. And so she's just trying to keep her shit together. And she looks away, you know, from Tia. And, you know, Tia's just watching her walk down the aisle to this man. And she's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what? Like, you, oh, my God. So she's watching her walk down the aisle. And then she just runs out the church and she sees the names again. You know, she looks at the name again on like the name of the bride and the groom. And it says Donovan Dickerson and Alana B. Hayes. B. The B stands for Brooke, I would assume. This bitch name is Alana. Like, oh my God. So she runs out the church trying to keep herself together, keep her composure together. People are looking at her. She's walking out and just because, I mean, it's just this, you know, she's just running with all this energy and anger and emotion. And she runs to her car and she calls Serenity and she was like, she can barely breathe. She's heavy breathing. She's like, Serenity's like, yo, she was like, are you okay? What's going on? What happened? Why are you calling me so soon? Like, aren't you like, she was like, this bitch got married. This bitch got what? Married. She got married. I just watched her walk down the aisle. And she's like, what? She was like, look, Tia, please tell me that you're kidding. No, I'm not kidding you. You were right. She played me when we were at the warehouse. She played me right now. She sent me the address to watch her walk down the aisle. And she's just like, where are you? Like, I'm gonna come. No. She's like, don't come here. I'm gonna come there. Like, this is too much, you know? So just imagine the emotion that she experienced watching this woman that, I mean, that she really probably to a degree was falling in love with. You know, when you spend time with somebody and it's very intimate and close and you feel safe and you're sharing things, and that's what happens. You know, love could be a possibility. And if it's not love, you care about somebody deeply. You know what I'm saying? And here, you know, Tia was hoping that they were going to be able to get over this hump of whatever, you know, Brooke was going through or however she was feeling. And this is what she walked into, was a wedding for the woman that she cares about. And so let me fill in a little bit of this. So a couple things is that the coffee shop, like Brooke popping up at the coffee shop, the Saint Germain, the watch, the chef, those were all things that, you know, Brooke discovered and realized about, or, you know, those are things that she was intentional about because of things that Tia has shared on her YouTube channel. So once they ran into each other at the lounge, she started getting fascinated. You know what I'm saying? Going back and watching old videos. looking at Q&A sessions, or, you know, Q&A she did previously, looking at just old live streams, you know, watching a video specifically that talked about her bucket list, which had the chef on it, and going to Canada, all this stuff, right? So she was really like getting to know her. So like, you know, Tia had filmed a couple of times at the coffee shop, you know, and that's when Brooke realized like, oh, that coffee shop is by my house. Like, I'm going to put myself in a position where I see this woman at some point, because she wanted to see her again. And like I said, the Saint Germain, which is like a nice touch, you know, she's like, if I ever get into my house, I'm gonna have the Saint Germain, because she knew how much, you know, Tia enjoyed it. And like I said, the watch, it was a watch that she had been talking about, and the chef, all that stuff, right? So a little bit more into this is, so Brooke lives in LA and her fiance Donovan lives in DC. So they don't live in the same state. They don't live together. They were waiting to actually like relocate and live together once she got married, which was coming soon, and which is something that Brooke never mentioned to Tia. She never brought it up. She never said anything about Donovan, nothing, you know. And even when, you know, Brooke went to DC, she thought she was going like to go see family or whatever she told her. She thought she was staying in the hotel, but she was there with Donovan the whole time. So during that 3-week period when they didn't talk for 3 weeks. So once she made it to DC and the messages got acknowledged, like, glad you made it, whatever, they didn't talk for 3 weeks, right? During that period of time, Donovan discovered basically the relationship or the time that Brooke was spending with Tia. And he was pissed. He was ready to call the wedding off. He called her all kind of bitches, like called her out of her name, disrespected her because he felt disrespected. He's like, this is how you've been spending your time? Like, you know, I call you all hours of the day. You don't pick up. You rush me off the phone. It takes you a long time to respond to my text messages. You don't respond to my FaceTime. Like, he's like, so it makes sense. This is what you've been doing. Like, you've been talking about working your hours and stuff. Like, it sounds like to me you haven't even been working. You know what I'm saying? Like, you spending all this fucking time with this woman. So he went through emails, text messages, pictures, everything, right? And he like, nah, so she don't know about me at all. I'm gonna make sure she knows about me. So he's the one that actually sent the text message from Brooke's phone to Tia's phone, telling, you know, saying, meet me here tomorrow, don't be late, you know, wear something nice, right? Which is a very similar message that Tia received for her birthday, remember? So, you know, he felt like it wouldn't be weird, but he like, nah, she gonna know about me. She gonna know damn well where you stand and who you are with and who you spending your life with. Like, I need her to know. I need it to be very plain and clear, right? That, you know, he wanted to mark his territory. Like, you are my woman. We are getting married, and I don't, like, fuck all that. Like, put this shit to an end. It's over. It's done with. And, you know, he like, this is how I want her to find out. And now here's the other side of it, is that Brooke didn't know he sent that message. So he had got into Brooke's phone, sent that message to Tia, and when he sent the message, he deleted the message, like he never sent it. So he deleted the whole thread, and then he blocked Tia. So when she was responding back saying, okay, I'll be there, or I'm here, where are you, when she made it to the church, none of those messages would have gotten delivered anyway. You know, so that's some cold shit. That's some cold shit. And I'm thinking about titling this the games that straight women play. And if it is titled that, I hope nobody is offended. Because, you know, when you see stuff titled that, like the games women play, men play, whoever plays, I'm just saying specifically about straight women, because like as a lesbian woman myself, y'all, so many things have happened where women, they dibble and dabble in certain things, but really don't want to mess around with women like that. And a lot of feelings get hurt. A lot of hearts get broken. You know what I'm saying? So this is not all straight women. I'm saying some women that really really be doing too much, basically, and just stringing people along. Like, this is some cold shit. You don't do this to nobody. Spend this kind of time with them. You know, celebrate their birthday like this, in this grand type of way. You know, it's just a lot. It's too much. You build all of this stuff up to turn around and get married. So this person didn't even know you like, number one, you're not available, and you about to go get married, and you just failed to mention that. So I'm gonna stop right there, but I will say there's a lot of possibilities of what could happen. Do they see each other again? And if they do, how does it go? A lot of things could happen next. But what I'm going to tell you is I'm going to do an extended version and talk about what happens next on Patreon. All right. So for those of you on Patreon, there will be a different version, or the extended version that I'm going to put out. It should be out at the same time. So once this drops, this should already, you know, the extended version should also be available on Patreon too. So that's it, y'all. You know, it felt good to tell a story. I definitely have missed it. If you want to join Patreon, the link is in the description box below. It's $5 a month. You can cancel anytime you want. And while you're there, get caught up on a bunch of stuff. I got a bunch of other stuff that I've shared and, talked about and stuff like that. So while you're there, it's a bunch of other content for you to actually catch up on too. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you were entertained and all that good stuff. I would definitely be back with another story time very soon. So I appreciate y'all watching. Make the best of the day, y'all. Be good to yourself. Peace.
I be beaming, I be booming down that block. Everywhere you go, they know I'm hot.